Alright, so this will be the Rise Nation versus SSG on Clubhouse from the USN tournament. So starting off on the ban phase. So Space Station, they banned Maverick. So Maverick is banned on Clubhouse if you feel like the other team, well, if you think that you can effectively stop a Zofia trick, or if you can, or if you want to be able to bandit trick, then you ban Maverick, because he just he counters the bandit trick because there's no way to counter the Maverick. So I'd say it makes the upstairs defenses a little bit stronger, because they now don't have to deal with Maverick just being able to instantly go through a wall. And so long as someone on the attacker is also holding an angle looking for the bandit, then they can gun down the bandit. It basically makes Maverick in play means that you cannot bandit trick. So Space Station probably wants to be able to bandit trick. And then with that, Space Station also probably believes that they can get rid of the bandit trick one way or another. With just one way or another, they can get rid of the bandit tricking without the use of Maverick. Whether that's through the Zofia tricking, where you can send a concussion mine through the drone hole next to the cache wall, or maybe they use a Capital bolt along with a Thatcher, then it doesn't really matter. It's just they have a way of getting rid of a bandit trick. Then Rise Nation bans Lion. It's Lion. Then they also ban Echo. I mean, really, it just comes down to, I don't know. Well, really, it comes down to, do you have anybody who likes playing Echo? If not, then you usually ban him, especially if someone on the other team does play Echo. And I'm not sure if Space Station does have any really good Echo player, but I thought they had someone who would play him time to time. But really, it's just one of those, do we want to deal with it? And if the answer is no, that it's one of those, can it help us? No. Can it hurt us? Yes. So let's just ban him. Then Valkyrie is being banned from Space Station. And that is a little strange. I've seen cameras outside before, and it could possibly be that that on the attack, Space Station just doesn't want to give info about how the attack is coming down because of a Valkyrie camera from outside. However, other than that, I'm not really sure of its purpose. And it could just be they don't want to look for Valkyrie cameras. They want to starve the. They don't want to give. They don't want Rise Nation to just have a bunch of free information about where the push is coming from, how's it going down, what's clear, what's not, and they have a way of still gaining that information even without a Valkyrie. So with that,
easier for you.
I'm gonna start.
Make the
And if it wants to load, come on.
Right? Or
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Alright, so
has Rise except
So in this match, but I think that's
Alright, so first defense coming out from Space Station is going to be a basement defense. And the one odd, not necessarily odd, but different thing about this game versus most others is Mira is actually in play. Most games Mira is banned here, so it'll be a little interesting seeing how she's used. But with that, Space Station, they have Thinking Nade on Jaeger. Normally you just want to bring a Jaeger, it stops grenades, stops really whatever. And I mean, that he has a good gun, good roamer, it just brings a good amount of utility to the team. And really that's it. Shala is on Mira, and it's one of those, if Mira is not banned, she's normal. I think she's played. If I remember correctly, there was an infograph released by Siege GG, and I think it had all of the bans and picks, ban and pick rate together, and I think that Mira, if she was ever played, she was always picked. However, I'm not. Yeah, I think it was that. And I think it was something like an 85% ban rate, 15% pick rate. But then Boss goes on Smoke. You need a way to create rotate holes. You also need a way to stop the plant from going down. If you place Smoke in blue, you can effectively smoke out here, which if you lose this wall, which happens a good amount in games, then by smoking, you can delay another 30 seconds of planting. Then Rampy's on Maestro. good gun, good gun, decent utility ever since they changed the Twitch and Thatcher to being able to counter it rather than just disable it. So really, Maestro now is more of a fragging operator out, almost kind of like Jaeger. Actually, not Jaeger. I want to say almost like Alibi, where she's brought more for fragging than actual utility, even though because with the just with the changes, Maestro is very easily countered. And right now, Rise they could counter this Maestro with Buck or with Thatcher, and so it is what it is. And of course, Maestro is still a lot more useful than Alibi ever will be. But and so really, he's brought more for the gun, I would say at this point, and he provides a little bit of information for your team. Then Bolts is on Cade. Cade, I mean, you're defending below. So Cade is interesting because his gadget is directly countered by the Thatcher, so you're not gonna be able to juggle the Thatchers. I mean, you're not gonna be able to juggle the EMPs. What am I trying to say? No, you're not gonna be able to juggle the Cade devices where you won't. I mean, there's 3 Thatchers, there's 2 Cades. You're never gonna get rid of every Thatcher, and the hatch is gonna get open. However, Cade does have the ability to bring impacts, and because of that, you can trick the kitchen hatch very easily. Really, anybody can do it, but because Cade can bring a shotgun as well, shotgun DMR, it by allowing that, it can he can basically make extra holes. He can adapt where if let's say the push is coming through this doorway, well, he could come over here and he could open up this wall with that shotgun. He could open up this wall with the shotgun if the push is coming from around here. He could open up this. He can just open up a lot of soft walls, so it allows for a lot of mid-game adaptations. And it doesn't require an impact grenade in order to do that, because you want to. Right now, Space Station, I see Bosco and Fultz are the only 2 that can bring impact grenades, and I'm hoping they all have impact grenades, because there are 3 Hibana pellets. There are 3 Hibana pellets, so you need 4 impacts to get rid of all of them. Well, you need 3. However, you can only bring 2. You have choice. You can only bring 2 per operator, so you can't just say, okay, I want 1 impact and 1 barbed wire or something. But with that,
just on that alone, that's probably
we can move on to their
SSG. But we'll see.
Move on to the
trading potential and whatnot still
enforcement phase, and I actually need to close it open. Right, so reinforcements come out, and really the only one that I really want to talk about is this one. The purpose of that is it doesn't let the attackers just walk their way down the stairs here, open up the wall, and then just rush in. That does happen every once in a while, and the issue with that is if this isn't reinforced, theoretically, if the attackers have kitchen control, if they could smoke this area right here and this area right here, then they could theoretically just rush in and go for a plant, because if you have kitchen control, you can apply vertical pressure, and that vertical pressure allows you to clear out anybody playing around this area. And so due to that, if the attackers know you're not playing here, they can then cut off the line of sight from over in this area. And by doing that, the only real ways to get in are the rotate hole there or the hole that was made there. However, because you don't want to be pushing through the smoke. However, you can't really push through this hole because someone on hatch can gun you down pretty easily, and there's someone going to normally be around holding an angle down the main lobby, so you can't just push through there. So that's why this is getting reinforced. Then also onto the attackers of Rise. So double hard breacher coming out, nothing special there. England's on Capital. Capital is a really strong operator, and I'm going to assume that that's how they plan to get rid of any bandit tricking. However, we'll have to wait until a cash defense to see that. Then Buck is being brought for the soft destruction. and Thatcher's being brought in order to get rid of the Cade, as Cade is in play, and there is no Maverick. If Rise Nation didn't bring Thatcher right here, then this Cade would be unstoppable.
That actually is the way the stat line lines up right now. They technically are a little bit better than things like mid-round trading and whatnot, so we'll see how all that breaks down.
It's pretty unfortunate to watch Rise struggle, especially since they were knocked out of Pro League with relegation and whatnot. But the thing is, watching them bring their team back together and starting to make their comeback is pretty fun to watch. It really is. When we saw them at the Allied Minor, they did better than a lot of people expected. They were actually one of the top teams there. I believe the first day and a half, I believe they start off like, yeah, they played extremely well.
Really, that just gives a bit of blue control, nothing special about it. I mean, really, the mirror windows on this, on downstairs, or really on this entire map, I would say, are never really too vital. It's not like, it doesn't change the map completely like it does on Border, where a single mirror window, where, yeah, really a mirror window can change an entire push, so
they played out of their minds, and we know that these guys take it.
Yeah,
they
nothing
can
really
play with
special.
the best of them. They've all been to majors before. They've qualified for a lot of major lands, and they have what it takes. But it's all about execution in the long run, beating teams like Space Station Gaming, letting them know that you belong in the spot. So here we are, tracking, moving in with the bearing 9, knocking down that barricaded window before he goes ahead and drones out.
I've never heard of tracking before.
He's in gym, he sees nobody here yet. Pretty much tracking, moving in with the bearing 9, knocking down that barricaded window before he goes ahead and drones out.
What I'm trying to see right here is whether or not anybody is on the pool window. Not the pool window, the is on the hot tub area around here. And I'm not seeing anyone. And I think that's a mistake, because if tracking drones here, and I think this is Rise saying, okay, they're probably not going to be roaming around here, so we don't have to put a body, but let's just make sure. Well, if somebody was roaming around here, they could destroy Tracken's drone, and there's no way that that Rise Nation could react to that. So it's kind of, this is a wasted, this is a mistake when it comes to droning, because there's nobody actually backing up the drone. So this drone could be lost, and any information would be... No, I see Vandal has actually entered. So... Okay, so it's... Vandal here.
He's in gym, he sees nobody here yet. Pretty much just...
Oh, so Vandal is moving in, and however, the drone's... I'd say the drone is a little bit ahead, because you want to be able to catch roamers off when you're droning them. However, because Vandal was a little bit late when it came to the entering, it would have given the roamer an ability to... It would have given the roamer the option of just moving, of just changing locations and getting out there. Now, most teams do not roam around the master area, because it's just about impossible. There's nowhere safe to sit without reinforcements. And I mean, Team Empire versus Fnatic on Clubhouse, you'll see Fnatic try to roam around master and get cut down by joystick over and over again. So it's really just, it's not expected, and some of the times it's actually assumed that nobody is going to be inside of here. However, it's bad to assume, and due to that, it'd be better if there's a little bit more coordination going on between Tracken and Vandal, where Tracken had waited to begin his droning when Vandal was in a position to react to any roamer.
He's locked in the site as far as I can tell. Yep, all 5 of them. So they're going to play very deep into the site. This means that obviously, Rise should have plenty of time to get to the site and set up their attack. There's going to be a little bit more work to get to the inside of the site, as they'll quite obviously have a much more active defensive matrix set up.
The roam clear comes out.
Yeah. And also, it's great to note that Mirror is also going to be in place. So, hey, Thatcher, Habana, and also even England, if needed, are going to be valuable when it comes to dispatching their windows and clearing out those areas behind them.
So they've successfully tricked at least one of these hatches now, as far as I can tell. That's second X-Kairos going on.
Dispatching their windows and clearing out those areas behind them.
So
okay,
they've successfully tricked at least one of these hatches now, as far as I can tell. second X-Kairos going onto the ground.
Yeah, so there actually was a trick coming out. The Cade did get a set of Hibana pellets. Now, that's not... I mean, really, the Cade, when Thatcher's in play, is not useful. And yet, the fact that he actually managed to get a set of Hibana pellets is pretty... It's not necessarily big, but it's something to note, because that tells me the timing of Rise Nation is off, because there's really no reason for that to happen. Because Hibana can, if Hibana and Thatcher just throw their pellet and EMP down at the same time, well, in order to effectively use the K to trick it, you'd have to throw it either the moment or just before you hear the Hibana pellets go off. And due to that, it's the amount of time it takes for the K to actually deploy and activate. It's too long, and the EMP would catch it. So if they threw the Hibana and the Thatcher EMP down at the same time, then it would have stopped any form of the trick. It would have stopped the trick, and this hatch would be open.
Ground's just going to try to blow those up, and yep, yeah, they weren't able to blow up the first one that they attempted to take out, so there you go. Now they're going to be able to at least open that one. That's going to be the Memorial hatch getting popped open. They don't have the kitchen one open yet, as far as I can tell either.
Right, so Bucks applying vertical pressure, as Bucks do.
Marcy was the best. Marcy, if you hear this, we love you. Thanks for great spectating. But here we are, down to a minute and 20 seconds.
I think Acid just used a thermite charge to open up the blue hatch.
For the site, Acid's going to go ahead and he sees the Evil Eye. The Evil Eye has been it's been momentarily dispatched.
So I think the purpose of this Evil Eye here...
Due to the
Why did it... That was weird. I think the purpose of the Evil Eye here is to allow the defenders to... I think it's to help hold the mirror window against the Hibana, because you could theoretically see the Hibana pellets go down and have this get an angle and zap them out.
It's been momentarily dispatched due to the Thatcher's EMP. It's been pinged out, so they're going to go ahead and get rid of that because, hey, that's going to be planted out. When they go down for the plan in the default spot, he's going to be able to get some shots.
Now, all EMPs have been used, so I don't think that the attackers have a way of getting rid of the Maestro cams except with Vandal's grenades.
You have tracking, still looking through the bars, and able to see anybody just yet, so we're now down under a minute.
Man, you can really see Rise like struggling to find something to grasp at to start this execute. They are
so the caster is right there. Rise is struggling to find the first pick, and they're not sure. I don't think they're sure how to deal with this mirror window, because they've been kind of stalling out, and I think they've just been looking for picks more than anything else. And because they're not coming to them, it's causing them to struggle.
All over the place looking for anything, but I mean, SSG's ready for it. You still got all of their Nitro Cell pool built up here. You've still probably got all 3 Toxic Babes as well. They are really like running all over the place.
I'm trying to go back to the Hibana. Okay, so Hibana has shot there, which lets you know that, well, so Hibana has shot
all of their Nitro
through this, has shot through the floor here to roughly right here. So Chala knows that somebody is holding this angle onto him. So he has to be wary of throwing this Nitro Cell.
Cell pool built up here. You've still probably got all 3 Toxic Babes as well. Grabs from Chala right there. Thought he was going to get pushed a little bit closer up.
So first smoke grenade comes out.
Instead, he's going to go for the toss out. A little bit too obvious for the player on the stairs, though, so he's not going to strike true. Nitro Cell won't get them a kill this time around. Now the execute's begun, primarily because there's no time left. Chala going to try to take... A little bit too obvious for the player on the stairs, though, so he's not going to strike.
So 2 of the attackers have rotated over to the blue. However, remember, there's a mirror window facing into blue, so they will be seen. However, it looks like that is fired and smoked off.
Now the execute's begun, primarily because...
However, smoke stop.
There's no
smoke stop lines of sight. They don't stop bullets. So if the idea is just to smoke a doorway and run through, that's not going to work.
Time left. Chala going to try to take the initial fight, but it's Factor.
So Factor kills Bosco. I want to know where he is. He then kills Chala.
He's going to be able to find a second one before thinking Nate
trades out against Ember,
but it hasn't stopped the push onto A. They are planting, and is more than likely
Okay, so what I think happened there was so Bosco and Chala, the smoke in the mirror, were playing inside the A bomb. During that time, the attackers said, "Okay, let's fire and smoke this area right here, which will get rid of this mirror window. It'll temporarily get rid of it, so that we can effectively drop the hatch or come down blue in one way or another, and then we can push in through A and pick off Chala and Bosco, because they're probably going to be holding in the usual spot behind the cupboard over there near the mirror window."
Not going to get in.
Actually, hold on. Actually, I want to see how exactly.
Factor instead on the attack that gets the opening pick.
Yeah, so 2 people dropped. Thinking Nade kills England. Factor manages to get through, though.
Stop the push onto A. They are planting, and is more than likely not going to get interrupted. Tracking over pushes, though. He goes down, and we're back into a 3.
Now, one thing is that both Bosco and Chala are dead, and I'm not seeing any pings come out, even though I saw that there was a Maestro cam inside of the site. Now, there are times when you ping and times where you don't ping. If the plant is going down, then you can be pinging as much as you want, because if you can help because basically there are just times when you can ping and times where you can't. Now, on a Valkyrie camera, there's a lot less times you can ping. However, on a Maestro cam, if you're dead and you're on a Maestro cam and you see someone just ping, 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 they know the Maestro cam is there. So, and based off of Ryze's lineup, as long as Vandal doesn't have grenades anymore, there's no way to get rid of it. So that's just an annoyance for Ryze Nation, and would still allow for and it's just free information. So that a few good pings on 2 of the members, or even on everyone here, could change this round. That was not a good play from Factor there. So Plant had gone down, and he was worried about somebody sneaking up from the main hallway right here where Fultz was, and tried to push out here. However, if you're trying to, there are times when you need to be pushing and times when you need to just be holding angles. Because right here, he got caught off guard, and there was nothing he could do about it. It would have been better if he was just in the back holding an angle, because that would have, one, allowed him to contest anyone coming through this hallway. It would also, if somebody tried to run up the stairs, he could also get him there, and if not tag up, then he could at least tell them, hey, somebody's going above to the Moto hatch. However, really, this was just not the play from Factor.
Thinking they trades out against England, but it hasn't stopped the push onto A. They are planting.
His Factor is inside of A right now. Bomb goes down.
Into a 3v3 as the plant goes onto the ground.
And it could have been possible that he was trying to move back to the big door in order to lock down the hallway. However, with the amount of time it took for the plant to go down, he should know that somebody could be flanking up that hallway, because that's really not a fight that he should have taken. Now, Vandal does refrag. Is refragged by Rampy. And so I'm trying to figure out exactly what this post plant is just weird, because they were, so 2 members got gunned down near that mirror window, and now Acid is in just about the exact same position. However, there's a hatch above him, so I'm not sure why the defenders aren't trying to play the mirror window they had. And it
1v2. Let's see what Acid has under his sleeve. He's able to get the diffuser down. All he has to do is play patient, make sure. Oh no, but Thinking Nade coming from above.
Then Acid manages to get one, but is refragged by Thinking Nade.
Diffuse is there, so Space Station Gaming.
So this round was Ryze Nation stalled out, and they had to go for a push, and they ended up getting the bomb down, but then they had bad post-plant positions, and due to that, they ended up just getting refragged, and that was really it. There's one person alive here, and however, it was really just Space Station really just showed that they had better team coordination when it came to being able to react to the deaths of their teammates. So they want based off of that.
Picking up the first round. Great hold.
Just barely take
Yeah.
control of the opening round.
You're gonna have to give it a rise. It was extremely hard to get into that site. The peak.
Now, Cash defense comes out from the attackers, same lineup. Cash, you normally have, I mean, for a Clubhouse, you normally have one lineup you do, and you don't really change it because this lineup can work for every single site, and I'd say the Buck is the only one that's maybe kind of questionable. Just there are times where it might be better just to bring a Zofia or just some other operator if you know you're not going to be applying vertical pressure. Anyway, with that, we move on to space stations. They have Bandit to Bandit trick as there's no Maverick. Cade is being brought again. I don't like that because the Cade, really, he was able to do a little bit by getting the Hibana pellets, but he wasn't able to do a large amount. And if even when the hatches were in play, he was able to get one Hibana pellet, and that was it. That was the extent of his utility usage. So it seems a little strange that they're electing to bring him again, even though they know that a Thatcher is in play. Maybe the thought process is combined with the Bandit and the Jaeger together. It's possible to go through all the Thatcher charges. So you say you put down one, you put down one Thatcher. If you put down the Cade, then you can wait for that to go off. But you can wait for the first Thatcher, put down 2 Bandit batteries, wait for the second Thatcher, put down the second Cade, wait for the third Thatcher to go off, and then put down 2 more batteries, at which point, no more Thatchers. That'd be my only thought process with that. However, yeah, that'd be my only thought process. And other than that, I'm not sure why the Cade is being brought. Yeah, I just don't know. So we'll have to wait and see how he's used. Then Castle is also being brought, and that's just a team thing. Some teams like to run the Castle on certain sites. They think it throws enemies off. It could just provide a little bit more protection for your team. And so this one is on the construction. So, you really, as a defender, you don't play construction. You don't even play around the master area if you don't have the reinforcements for it. And if you're defending cash, you don't have the reinforcements for it. So, really, they're saying we're not even going to go over there. We're not going to bother with it.
Is now gone, so you're going to be a bit more vulnerable now.
Barrage walls get reinforced.
Continue the trend here. With the site change, play's going to be a little bit different from them, but your lineup has remained relatively similar with just a couple changes too.
So I'm a little curious about that because the shield tells me that SSG wants to play below. The problem with it, however, is Space Station doesn't really have a lineup to play from below. Now, they do a little bit with Thinking Nade and Fultz, where they both can bring Nitro cells. So possibly there's a Maestro cam set up in the default plant spots that will allow some pings to come out. However, it's a little strange that's being choreographed, where they're saying, yeah, we're gonna be playing from below. Now maybe maybe Space Station is trying to apply crossfires into Garage, where if you try and go through Garage as an attacker, you have to worry about both the top and the bottom. However, I'm not sure exactly. We'll just have to wait and see.
The same story for the most part for them at this point. They're also going to bring a similar.
What this Maestro cam is. Okay, my thought process with this is maybe this camera is maybe this is gonna get shotgunned out so that you can see if anybody's planting around there. However, it's a little strange of a Maestro cam because when you lose Garage control, you really, you're going to struggle to take it back, because if the wall gets opened, and you can assume the wall will always be opened, then you can't play inside of the servers, CCTV, whatever it's called. Due to that, you can no longer apply pressure from really this area if the attackers are holding the proper angle. So the only real way to come in is here, because if you try and walk through the oil pit, I mean, you can just put a claymore down there and it's stopped, as well as you have to come up a ladder, which no one wants to do. So you effectively have one like kind of sensible way of actually coming back in. However, if you're trying to just walk in through a doorway and the attackers only have to hold one angle, then you're not going to win that fight a lot of times, because there could be you don't know if someone's here, doorway, behind here. So there's so many angles that the attackers can hold that trying to just walk in and retake this is strange. Well, it's not strange, it's hard. It's very hard, very difficult, and questionable. And so this Maestro cam, the information of the people that are coming in and out of garage as an attacker, it's not going to be very valuable, because unless this wall here has been reinforced. I mean, it's still reinforced and hasn't been opened. So if the defenders know, okay, someone's on railing, well, they cleared us out of garage, right? Yeah. Well, they opened the wall, right? Yeah. So we can probably assume they're in garage. Yeah. So the information given by the evil eye may not be the best. And so my only thought is that maybe if it's meant to look here, if that's shotgunned open, to look for a default plant. However, if they just plant behind this reinforced wall, then you can't see that, and that can just be some bad callouts. But anyway, we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm not sure.
A lot of hard breach being taken into the fray, and it's needed against this site. A lot of potential hard points to breach into, so the extra hard breach is actually going to provide quite a bit of.
I saw one castle barricade. I'm wondering where the other two are.
Let them know that outside of Kennels, it's wide open. He would have been able to shoot Tell, but he had no idea. But, slowly but surely they're going to move on towards balcony, where you're going to have Thatcher and Thermite work together to go ahead and try to get
rid. So I see the right wall is electrified, the left wall is not.
Up to Tinkinade, he's going to be the direct counter to this. So there goes the first EMP. He's going to blow, and on the left side, there it goes. Tinkinade able to get rid of one exothermic charge. One more is coming. Tinkinade has no idea, but there's nothing he could do even if he did know. All things to cap.
Okay. So this is a mistimed push from Rise, and this is kind of I want to say this is kind of the reason why they got relegated. Now it's not like this specific thing, but it's little things like this which add up, where they know Thinking Nate is bandit tricking. They know he is. So Acid just sticks the thermite charge. Actually, hold on. Okay, here we go. So Thinking Nate is bandit tricking. The attackers can assume that. Acid puts down his thermite charge, like, haha, they're never gonna expect me to do this right after a Thatcher grenade. And goodbye. I mean, it's weird. Then, after the thermite charge has been lost, a Capital bolt comes in. So that confuses me, because why not wait why wouldn't Acid just fake putting it down, force the bandit to go into the bandit trick animation, then have the Capital, as the thermite says, putting it down, or just faking, then Capital sends in his firebolt through the window, damaging Thinking Nade, and then another Thatcher comes down, and then Acid puts the real one on, because the thermite charge is protected by the firebolt here. And then the wall gets opened. They still have an extra thermite charge to put wherever they want, because it's useful to open up garage, so a thermite charge would be nice for that. So that just seems kind of like there's not good team coordination there. But that seems really strange, because I mean, this isn't a very hard team coordination thing to do. It's just a, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because you need England, Acid, and Factor, who all have been on. Really, I think the tracks. I can't remember his name. The Hibana. I think that's the only person I don't recognize from Rise right now. So those three members have been together and should have the coordination to do something as simple as stop a bandit trick without having to worry about, without wasting a thermite charge, because this is a wasted thermite charge. This is wasted utility here. It would have just been, and it would have just been better if they said, okay, Thatcher is. It would have been better if they just said, okay, we're not even going to worry about this damaging the bandit. So Thatcher and Capital do your thing at the same time. Okay, Acid then puts this thing down. Thinking Nade can't bandit trick. You don't have to worry about Fultz and his Cades because it takes too long. So Acid puts down the charge, detonates it. Wall gets open. You still have an extra thermite charge. However, because of the miscoordination and Acid just sticking it, which is, I mean, if you know that someone's bandit tricking, why would you stick it? Because there's nothing to gain from it. So it's very questionable.
No idea, but there's nothing he could do even if he.
And then you saw right here, there. Actually,
did know.
I want to see if I can get a better angle on it.
Even if he did know, all things
that. So what I'm seeing is I think that Fultz threw, yeah, so Fultz threw his Cade on here. However, here we go. There, you can see it here. Here's the Cade thrown by Fultz through this little hole. However, a second Thatcher comes out, and due to that, it gets destroyed. You really can't trick anything with the with Cade's charge. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You really can't. So that was good from Thatcher for recognizing that there could be a Cade thrown. However, it was just bad from Acid for, I mean, he lost the thermite charge. He lost half of his utility. And yes, he did his job, but he could do his job better. If you ever think that, well, I did my job and just my job and didn't help with anything else, then that really can just hurt your team, because it doesn't matter if you're a bandit tricking and you say, well, guys, I did my job, the wall never got opened, but the enemy pushed in from the opposite side, killed all your teammates, and now it's a 1v5. Now, I did my job, but the wall didn't get opened. Well, yeah, the wall didn't get open, but you lost the round, so I mean, you always have to be able to do more than just the one job that you have to be able to do your job and then expand on that and do things better. Because with Acid, I mean, right there, he lost half his utility, and it's not a big thing because there's still another hard breacher. There's still another hard breacher. He's opened the wall, and so it's not the end of the world because of his mistake. However, it's a mistake that can lose rounds if he messes up in situations where he can't.
It cleared out the area, opened it up, and it allowed the charge to go through.
Yeah, either way, both charges being used in the process of that, so can use it to open up something like Garage. However, Hibana still in play, still can knock those open as well. To have that second angle to the push that you really need on this site in order to get access. Final ADS.
Why the charge is coming down? Why that ADS is coming down now? That is questionable.
This will be where the defenders pretty much universally have to play into. Now they've lost that wall. They can't really just stand in the open inside of CCTV anymore, as that's spelling certain death. Thankfully, they still got an Evil Eye sitting on the inside. Where this will be where the defenders pretty much.
So the first Evil Eye is inside a garage.
Can't really just stand in the open inside.
That's me. There we go. The second Evil Eye is right there. So this Evil Eye will tell you if they run in and try and plant inside of B. And I think it might also be able to give some callouts into A, just not all of them. However, that's strange as to why the Maestro Cam is then inside of the garage, because I mean, as a defender, you can't run in through garage. Now, maybe the thought process of Space Station is that camera will give us information on garage if we're trying to go for a retake. However, that camera could just say, okay, they have somebody holding an angle on the door, and we're not going to win that fight. So, yeah, the Maestro cam's giving you the information, but it's also well, now you have the information that you can't do anything. So if they're relying on a retake strategy, then the Maestro cam, I'd say, isn't the best.
TV anymore, as that's spelling certain death. Thankfully, they still got an Evil Eye sitting on the inside of it, along with a little bit of extra utility too.
Utility has helped out Rise Nation so far, but now.
All right, so this is kind of an Empire type strategy where Empire doesn't like pushing the garage. However, they do like pushing from the Master as well, from both sides at once. So Tracken combined with, is that acid? Yeah, that's acid. Okay.
Has a lot more left. You're still gonna have the stun grenades.
I'm wondering why ping is going down garage. And I'm wondering, okay, this is bad positioning from the Capitale. So right now, he's giving up his ability to, he's giving a lot of flexibility. He walked up to the top of the, he rappelled up to the top of the balcony. However, he can't move here. So if somebody, so he can't really move because of this giant hole. And if he was instead rappelling, and I mean he's still holding the same angle you can as a repeller, but as a repeller you can move left, right, up, down, and you can react. You can change your head level. You can change where you're attacking from. It's little things like that which can win gunfights, because if they have to adjust their aim while you don't, then I mean really it doesn't matter who you're going up against or who your operator is, because you can win the gunfight.
Smoke boats to get in the site and try to offer in the plant. Yeah, the Habana charges are just gonna be gone. Thanks to Thinking Aiden his bandit charges. So two smoke boats to get in the site and try to offer in the plant.
So I think there was a bandit charge down, and Tracken put down.
Yeah, Capitale still has a lot more left. You're still gonna have the stun grenades.
You hear him put it down there.
Three, and also two smoke boats to get in the site and try to offer in the plant.
So it took the Tracken here about 6 or 7 seconds to activate his Hibana charges. That allowed Fultz just to throw his device and get, I mean, those were wasted Hibana pellets. That's all it is. If Tracken had activated those instantly, there's a chance that he could have gotten that wall open. However, because he hesitated so long and then tried to open it up, he lost them. And now I'm not sure if Factor has any thatches left. So that's just bad utility usage. So right now both hard breachers have wasted part of their utility for no reason.
Yeah, the Habana charges are just gonna be gone. Thanks to Thinking Aiden his bandit charges.
I mean, the bandit.
Do not send this. Do not.
This run is like going really well for the guys on SSG right now. Like tricking in general hasn't really been working recently, but in this game they're
on point.
They've done it like 3 or 4 times now, I think.
Yeah. But gameplay is going to slow down just a little bit. We have a minute left in the game. Seems like a little bit. It's more than enough. And with the frag grenade, it's going to go ahead and...
So, Vandal... What's that grenade?
But gameplay is going to slow down just a little bit. We have a minute left in the game. Seems like a little bit. It's more than enough.
So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that Vandal right there on the buck used his grenade to try and nade someone's position. Because this isn't really that hard of a grenade to hit, where you just bounce it on the top and it goes down to the bottom. So it's a little... I'm not even sure if it would actually destroy the Cade if it's up at the top, so... I'm not sure. I think it would, but that's just kind of a...
And with the frag grenade, it's going to go ahead and get rid of the charge. It's going to be thrown in by Vandal. Hopefully get rid of either the claw...
Now, the thing is that really shouldn't have taken 2 grenades. It should have just taken 1, and the fact that it did take 2 is kind of worrying, because right now we've had Traken, Acid, and Vandal all use utility that didn't really do anything.
Or the battery is going to work, and Saban is able to get those K-Rolls in towards the wall, and they're going to be able to peek down low by going prone.
Oh,
Leaving Foles all by himself.
I think they tricked it again.
Yeah.
No, not the left one. They did trick the right one, though.
Yeah, TCSG is going to do work if he's able to get that line of sight on him.
A little bit careful the punch hole there from the castle barricade as well.
Rampy's position gets noted. Okay, so Rampy I think was just going for a late flank, and he got caught out, so he's probably going to come back to site. However, yeah, I mean, really, that's all that really happened. However, one thing is that
when that barricade gets punched through, he's actually going to fall back to the inside of the stairs, play behind the next level of reinforcements. It goes a little crazy with
so I see Jaeger and Castle below, and neither one of those are a vertical play operator. Then Volts doesn't have a Nitro cell. Thinking Nate is on Bandit is playing the top of the stairs. Volts was playing in sight.
They do know where he's at now, so he's got to be careful when that.
So I don't like that Thinking Nate that Volts just ran out of the room, because there's now nobody else in the room. And if Rise Nation, if this Capital can do the job of literally just waiting here, repelling, and holding an angle like this, it stops anybody from the defenders running in like that to use this kill hold that was set up. However, and so Capital has to repel there. Then with that, he controls the B bomb site. You can't effectively run through the B bomb site so long as Capital is there. Then if the attackers, everybody from the bomb, everyone inside of A just running out, if Rise Nation just runs in, jumps on top of a table, they could probably get the plant down, because a Nitro cell couldn't come from below, and the operators playing below are not meant to play below. So
it's punched through. He's actually going to fall back to the.
I disagree with Fultz leaving the bomb there, and with Thinking Nate also changing his position.
Try to win it out here. Bosco, in the meanwhile, he's ready to make a push, because look, we're at 20 seconds left and no one's died yet. Out there, going to go, kills the.
Alright, so Bosco kills England. There's nothing really. I'd say it's kind of bad from Rise, because everybody claymores that door, and everybody knows that you can get rid of the claymores on that door. So that's really just a threat to every attacker. And with that, it's if you want to effectively hold the door, you have to use either 2 claymores or a nomad or something, because you can't just rely on a single claymore, because you can track where the beams are, peek out just a little bit, and as long as you're leaning, well, your head's going to be going just ahead of your body, so you're not going to trip the claymore, but you'll be able to see the claymore. So it's not something you can really rely on. And with the fact that Rise Nation never took garage control, they can't treat it as if it's safe, and England was kind of just ignoring it. And yes, he was trying to do his job. However, this is kind of an oversight just from the general strategy of Rise Nation.
Kills the charge and then picks up the kill against England.
Now with him dead, with Capital dead, there's now nobody stopping the defenders from running around inside of B.
No choice left. It's going to be forced in.
Okay, that was not the play, Thinking Nade.
We're going to make a push, because look, we're at 20 seconds left and no one's died yet. Out there, going to go, kills the.
So Fultz changed positions. Nobody's playing below.
Charge and then picks up.
Okay, so Thinking Nade has a Nitro cell. So why he's the one pushing here, I don't understand, considering there is a Jaeger, a Castle, a Cade, and a Maestro, all who can fight. So it's not like there's a man disadvantage for Space Station. So why Thinking Nade doesn't go below doesn't make sense to me, because he doesn't have to get a kill with a nitro cell, but he can at least go for the attempt. And at that point, well, worst comes to worst, you're an equalized on site. It's a 4v4, and then with whatever hole you make, if you have the proper game sense, you can figure out roughly where they're planting, and you can say, okay, if they're planting the default on top of the table, well, I can go below in stocks, open that up, and even if I don't get a kill with the nitro cell, I can try and work for an angle on the planter. So it's why he exactly decided to go through here, I'm not sure. Then this sprinting is not good because when you're sprinting, you can't shoot. And so he gets off, is aiming. I'm gonna sprint some more. So there's no purpose in sprinting right here. This is a very, very dumb sprint because there's no purpose in it. There's no threat. This is not like, okay, I need to stop this plant or else we lose. No, this is you take this slow, you play with your team, and you clear angles one by one. You go little by little. You go, okay, first I'm going to come around, clear a little bit of there, come around, clear a little bit more, clear a little bit more, little more, little more. And you can do that slowly because and that's how you clear a room. However, Thinking Nade then decides to, I don't know, his gun jammed? He thought his gun jammed or something, so he needs to go for that knife kill and sprints forwards. And if he didn't do that, he could have one-killed Traken. I want to try and go back to his cross level. I want to see where his crosshair placement was. One, he could have killed Traken because this is how close he is to the head. Anybody can hit that shot. So he kills Traken, kills Buck, gets a double kill. That's 2 members gone, and there is a total of, and now there's actually only 3 members left because somebody got gunned. Bolts killed Factor, the Thatcher. I'm not sure where Thatcher was, but he could have gotten a double kill there, and then it's Acid in a 1 versus 5. So it's little things like that where you can think, I just died. Like it's fine. We had the main advantage, and I just lost a gunfight or something. But that wasn't even losing a gunfight. That was just Thinking Nade sprinted in there and really just messed up. And it's surprising he did because he's one of the oldest players of the game. However, I don't see why he was so quick to just start sprinting, sprint, because there was no purpose of it. There was no point. Then, however, now it's been equalized 3 versus 3. So Thinking Nade, from the ability to turn into a 1 versus 5, into a 5v1, has managed to almost fuck up and turn to a 3 versus 3. Now, Chala, I'm not sure what the hell he's doing either, because why he's holding this angle, I don't understand, because he had someone playing on the stairs. So why he's worried about the stairs, I don't get. And why he's not over near the rotate hole that was made, I also don't understand, because that rotate hole can get you an angle into cache, and he could have refragged the Hibana here. At which point it then becomes a 3v2. So you still get man advantage. However, he's now staring at something. Then Bosco is here. Where is Tranks? So Bosco's here. And where the Hibana ran off to. So they're Traken. Okay, it's Traken. Wow, I'm gonna say every variation of Trank, Tank, and Track. And I'm never gonna get this name right. Anyway, Chala then gets gunned because he's like, the plant's going down, yet he's kind of just standing there, and I'm not sure exactly what his goal was. Now, track and was able to then come over and I need to pull up a map. Where is Clubhouse? We move on to the second floor. They're in cash. So we know that the entirety of the attackers is pushing in. Wait, is this the old cache? Wow, I think this is the old cache. You actually serious? In the old. Wow, yeah, this is the old. Let's take first floor garage store. Yes, okay, this is actually the old cache. So no, I can't even use this. So Rainbow Six Academy maybe. Log in to bypass age verification. Well, I was born in 1924 on January the 17th. Fantastic. Wait, is there like a... Can I just see like a map or something? This isn't. Tactical board. Okay, it's good I tried. But right now this is how you don't play this when they have to just run in through one doorway, because that's what happened. So what I'm not understanding from this, let's go back 30 seconds. So Bolts is inside of here.
Drone. They do know where he's at now, so he's got to be careful.
Somebody hits a barricade, it's opened. Okay, gotta get the fuck out of there.
He's actually going to fall back to the inside of the stairs, play behind the next level of reinforcements. Try to win it out here. Bosco, in the meanwhile, he's ready to make a push because look, we're at 20 seconds left and no one's died yet. Out there going to go, kills the...
Bosco gets a kill.
Kills the charge.
Bolts lights up Factor. Thinking he's over here. So with that, oh, this was smoked. Okay. All right, so that was smoked, cutting off the angle for Chala to look in through there. So it's not too questionable, his positioning. I would have liked if with that smoke, he just shot in, because he would have been applying some pressure and he could have possibly gotten some kills, because, I mean, you have to run through the doorway and that will hit the doorway. So I kind of wish Chala was shooting through the smoke with the Maestro.
Against England. Now the rest of the team with no choice left.
And then let's see. So smoke is still up.
Quick little juke and jive there.
Okay, so that's how the Hibana got across. I didn't know that this was smoked out, and that cuts off the angle for B. So that explains why neither Bosco nor Chala got the kill there.
Kraken picks up the frag and thinking a Vandal also with a pickup here, and there is just no.
So Kraken gets shot and then peeks the window and just domes Chala. So that timing. Rampy comes up the stairs, gets a kill.
Now a 2v2 as Rampy works his way back up those cash stairs, trying to push back in now. Bosco looking for the retake. But they still managed to get the plant down ultimately, bringing it into a 3v2. Now a 2v2 as Rampy works his way back up those cash stairs, trying to push back in now. Bosco looking for the retake. Rampy's doing most of the work.
Rampy just wins a gunfight there.
And leaves everything on to acid. He's not going to be able to hold. Back up those cash stairs, trying to push back in now. Bosco looking for the retake. Rampy's doing most of the work right now, though, as he's picked up Kraken and leaves everything on to acid. He's not going to be able to
And
hold
Bosco
on.
either sees him or just shoots through the wall and gets a kill. So good. Well, not really good. It was kind of a clusterfuck at the end here, where instead of just holding angles and playing, the defenders kind of, by giving up the A bomb site, they kind of fucked themselves over. And really the only reason why Space Station won this round was because Rampy came in here and managed to get 2 big kills onto Trax, isn't it? Trax. And Trax and who kill the Vandal? I think it was Vandal, but it was whoever was playing out in workshop. So him winning those 2 kills really did save the round for Space Station, because I mean, really, that just came down to the really, I want to say, if basically this just came down to Fultz and Thinking Nate. Fultz, by giving up the room and there not being a smoke or echo in play to actively stop the plant, or a pulse with a nitro cell or some form of vertical pressure, it really did fuck over Space Station. And if he had just stuck it out, said, Chala, you're in garage, hold the door through the rotate hole, just hold an angle on it. If it gets smoked, you just shoot it. You just shoot. I'm holding an angle on the door as well. They can't come in through the wall. Then with that, it is a crossfire going on technically, and it's something that nobody wants to run through. However, it then gives Space Station a way to fight for the A bomb site. Right there, they just gave up the A bomb site. Plant goes down, and then so Fultz just giving up the bomb site didn't really work out the best. And I mean, it turned it from, I think, a 5 versus 3 into a 3v2 or something. But really, it was just Rampy got 2 big kills there that basically saved Rise. And with that, I mean, saved Space Station. And then Thinking Nate, his little sprinting at the end there, that really would have cost them the round. So it would have been on Fultz and Thinking Nate if this round was lost by Space Station, because that was over. I mean, really, if he got the double kill there, killed Hibana, killed Vandal, it's gonna be a 5v1. So that was just overall not. Thinking Nate, that one little mistake of just pressing the shift key, just a little tap of it, that nearly cost Space Station the round. And so, yeah, that's the way it is. And now I'm going to go to the restroom, so I'll be back in a minute, and we'll go on to the next round. Alright, so I am back, and we will now move on to the next round.
And Bosco takes him out.
The boys did it.
Ryan's even in like pretty good post-plant position.
Now, one thing to note is, think about what would have happened if Rise still had the utility of a grenade, an extra set of Hibanas, and a thermite charge. Imagine what they could have done possibly with that. If they could have, say, opened up this wall over here, if they, yeah, really just if they could have opened up this wall, if they could have naded somebody playing the stairs, if they could have taken garage control, it could have changed a lot of that round. Yet I mean, I'm not saying yet, but if it's just something to think about, what could they have done with that extra utility that was to a degree wasted? Now on the next round, same attacking lineup coming out, not surprising there. Space Station. They dropped the Maestro for a Mira, and then everything else is the same, I believe. Which isn't too surprising. Then, I mean, it's really not too surprising. You have to hold cash to hold Master, so you bring a lot of the same lineup. And I'm curious as to how exactly this will be held.
The thing that was vital, coming in from balcony to CCTV, Bosco.
So one thing is, if you want to have a rotate hold there, you should have this reinforced, because if the defenders read into that, they can just come up to this roof, open up a soft wall here. You now can't use the rotate hole. You can't effectively play inside a workshop. This hatch makes it so you can't effectively play inside of the office area, and it then allows for kind of a pincher for anybody playing inside of cache, where the attackers could theoretically walk in through there as the other attackers coming through either garage or the cache wall over there, which, I mean, it's 2 angles, it's hard to fight, so it's not always winnable, and it can hurt your team. Just something to look out for.
Went towards the front door, shot at C4, was able to pick up a kill on England. Once that happened, they evened the odds just about. It was pretty much a 2v4. Once he got that kill, 2v3 happened. And
so that is both good. That's not good right there. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that is good, but that's not good because right now,
C4 was able to pick up a kill on England. Once that happened,
Chala and Fultz are doing the exact same thing. Exactly. They're both trying to open up a wall, which tells me that there's not a set person to do this, and that's not good, because what if there needs to be 2 rotate holes open, but there's only time to get 1 in place because right now the defenders are both trying to open up the same one. There are times where if, like Bandit on this set map, if you have to send someone, if you try to go and reinforce the cache wall, you're not going to have time to go then get your bandits down on the master wall over here and then run all the way back and start bandit tricking the other side. So it's something where you need to have people doing their set jobs, and by having both the castle and the Mira doing the same job, it can cause issues.
2v4. Once he got that kill, 2v3 happened.
Well, it may not necessarily cause issues, but it may cause it could cause things to be overlooked, or for things to take longer to set up, which can lead to openings.
And next thing you know, the GOAT came
right there. So Chala now had to wait for Fultz to finish opening up that wall. If that had taken, let's just say, an extra 5 seconds or so, and the Chala's trying to put down this armor panel, but for some reason Rise has a glass, then that glass could theoretically swing out from here, shoot through the castle barricade as Chala's putting it down, kill Chala, and now it's a man disadvantage because Chala had to wait an extra few seconds in order to not get shot.
into play.
Now, it doesn't happen here, however, it's just a possibility.
Hold down Jim. The hatch is open, and with Maverick not being in play, balcony is going to be pretty hard to get rid of, especially with Kaid in play with, I believe, Randy.
Let's see his mirror windows. Okay, so I don't like this one. Now, I understand the purpose of it. However, with this hatch existing and both Capital and Buck being in play, you can nade or Capital that so easily that this is just, I disagree with it. I think that playing it is just too dangerous as a defender.
So they've come very close. The rounds about won both by defusal at this point, or by counter defusal by Sorry,
Ash gets opened by Vandal.
Happens to me all the time.
3:51 a.m. by the way. But,
there are 4 members of. There are 4 members over here.
Now and start working on the side garage door out on the balcony. So the tricking will once again be an obstacle to this, which again, another big compliment for thinking Nate here. Tricking in recent history, at least around USN, has not been working out too well.
That is such a terrible thermite. Like, okay. So, oh god, a bandit can trick either the left or the right wall. So if this bandit doesn't know where you're going to put this charge down, it becomes a 50-50 chance. So why would you ever put it in the middle of 2 walls saying, yeah, so long as you have headphones in, yeah, you can get this one. We'll give it to you. We don't need this one. We will give you this thermite charge. We don't need it. We just want to let you know that you can have it. then a Capital Bolt right now is killing that Thermite.
Doing a great job of it.
Thermite has now just been team killed. Dear God, this is... Okay, one, I'm not even sure if you can Firebolt through there. I'm not even sure if you can Firebolt through this top hatch over here. However, it's something where it's like... I mean, I'm not sure if you even can. So, it's probably a pixel or so you have to hit. However, if you have to hit a pixel, that is never a good thing. You can just inadvertent, like you see it all the time. You try and throw a flashbang at a door, it hits a bad pixel and comes back at you, even though somehow it's being thrown at an angle that shouldn't be possible. Your nitro cell gets stuck on something. It really just something happens. So this Capital tricking is something that's, I would say, is a last resort type thing. However, what I'm not getting is why not just send one person to watch this cache window. You then send the Hibana to open up the castle barricade. Actually, no, have somebody with breaching charges. Maybe it's Factor, or I don't even know. So it doesn't even matter. But you open up the castle barricade on the gym. You then have Hibana send in her pellets, open up the castle barricade right here. And then, once that's open, then you just firebolt. Then you firebolt it. You don't have to worry about killing your Thermite, and you can get in. However, this is just not the play. I'm surprised this strategy is the one they went with, and it seems to me very. I want to know how they actually made this strategy up. Thinking, let's just shotgun this open with the buck, send in our little Capital Bolt and through a pixel, and just hope that it takes out this bandit, because that was... I don't understand it. It seems like this is a very convoluted strategy that just doesn't make sense to me, and it just has too many steps and could just be solved by bringing a Zofia. Literally, if you brought Zofia here, you could open up the castle barricades, and then you can't ban a trick. So why not just do that?
An obstacle this, which again, another big compliment for thinking made here. Tricking in recent history, at least here on USN, has not been working out too well. But
okay, this is also really, really bad from Thermite.
Tricking will once again be an obstacle this, which again, another big compliment for thinking made here. Tricking in recent history, at least.
So puts it down the middle. So let's just start with that.
On USN.
The Capital Bolt came out, and right there, Acid took some damage. So 212, he takes damage, sticks it. He sticks it for 3 to 4 seconds, even though he's taking damage.
Again, be an obstacle this, which
and
again, another big compliment for thinking made here. Tricking.
I don't get this. This is legitimately ridiculous. So.
Alchemy. So the tricking will once again be an obstacle this, which again, another big compliment for thinking made here. Tricking in recent history, at least.
Right there. So if we look, you may not actually be able to see it based on how if you're on your phone or if you're on your computer, or depending on how the resolution looks on the video. But right here, hold up. Right there. So right there, Acid loses health. So he loses health at 212. And you know what? I think that was actually from the... Wait, is that fire coming?
That has not been working out too well.
Okay, so he lost some... Actually, no. He lost a little bit of HP from the bandit charge, which is what I'm seeing. I'm not actually seeing the damage done by the Capital Bolt. However, it's not that... It's not that far apart, so let's see. So Firebolt comes out here. he starts taking damage. So around 211, 212, he starts taking damage.
Been working out too well, but
he sticks it and then dies. Like, I'm not gonna say anything about this because this is just flat out stupid, and I'm not like the thing is, if I'm trying to make a competitive team and I see this happen, then I'm gonna want to drop this guy, because if you don't have the ability to react to a Capitao bolt from your team thermiting yourself, that's just, what are you going to react to then? Okay, you're taking damage standing in fire. Like, okay, I mean, I guess they had to make add-ons for World of Warcraft that it makes a big fuss on your screen with a bunch of pretty lights and tells you to get out of the fire if you're standing in fire, because so many people stand in fire. And I mean, you got the good old Summit 1G, he's dying in fire as well. But so maybe this is really hard to recognize. And I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is just something you just can't maybe he just couldn't recognize that he was literally being burned alive.
Not been working out too well, but he's doing a great job of it. SSG.
No, England. It looked.
I don't get that. I really don't. I really don't understand that. He had at least 2 or 3 seconds to at least try to get out of there, and instead decided to stick it. I really don't understand that. That is something that should never happen, and that's something I would expect from, I don't even want to say a silver console thermite main, and I'm not trying to say anything about, I'm really not trying to start anything with console. I play on it, and in all honesty, the players on console are not as smart when it comes to awareness as they are on PC. However, I think that, I want to say even a bronze console player can recognize if they're being burned alive. I think, and I mean, this is just dumb. I mean, I'm just gonna let's just skip through this, because it's at this point it's just become.
Where was the bolt aimed at?
It's just become. It's just kind of. It's ridiculous.
Shot it at the roof at a bad angle and it fell on his teammate. Maybe. Another
bandit tricking hasn't been stopped.
Oh no.
Dignate is 2 for 3 right now. 2 for 3.
And they lost the second thermite charge as well.
No, I believe he's 2 for 2 because the Capitao both stopped his third attempt.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 for 2. Man's perfect.
So they've got 2 X-Kairos left, I think. Can we go to Hibana real quick?
And now Rise doesn't know what the hell to do, because they have no way of getting rid of this bandit trick.
They might have just lost this round on that alone.
And this is kind of the.
That's rough.
I would say this is kind of the hallmark of this is kind of the trademark of a bad team, where you have one way of doing something, and if it doesn't work, you have no idea what to do. So the Capitao wasn't able to get rid of the bandit trick, so now they have no way of getting rid of the bandit trick. They can't use grenades, they can't use the Hibana to open up the castle barricades, they can't try some other way. They're just saying, okay, yeah, we can't do this.
I didn't think they'd use them all already.
Plan B comes in play.
Now,
so now a little bit of drone work, and look, there's a player that's
nearly 2/3 of the round were gone.
That drone. Yeah,
the thermite is dead. The castle here has been opened. There are no X-Kairos left. How are there no X-Kairos left? What happened
Peeking
there?
Towards gym right now is pretty much a death wish if you jump in there, self-destruct.
I have no idea where those X-Kairos were used. I really don't. I'm confused.
Down low, thinking he'll be able to shoot his feet almost immediately. Now moving in towards a minute. Yet another player falls down.
Capitao dies.
Nation is going to be England.
He was on the roof.
Okay.
The
guy that he killed in the first place.
Vandal's ideas. Let's just flank walk up. Let's just crouch walk up the stairs. Go for a flank.
Play this, unfortunately, right now they've just got to take it so slowly
that is.
and hope
Let's
that they can
see what
get
happens.
gifted with a peek from someone on SSG, but. I mean, SSG, as disciplined as they are, they're not going to give away
Oh, yeah.
something like that. Another player going down. The
Factor has gone down by fall off the roof?
so slowly, and hope that they can get gifted with a peek from someone on SSG, but I mean, SSG, as disciplined as they are, they're not going to give away something like that. Another player going down. The Thatcher, I think, wait, fell off the roof with the diffuser? What is going on this?
And flank, trying to crouch walk up the stairs doesn't work. Okay, this is just... At this point, Kraken goes up to the roof, and he sits his ass there, and he talks with his team about what they have to do next round to win. Because this is kind of ridiculous when it comes... This is kind of ridiculous about these strategies.
My man's tripped.
So, now he's going... At this point, you just get out. Like, there's no... You're not going to win the round, so just use all the time you can to talk with your team.
Or you kill your teammates. So if you're on Rise Nation,
this is Survivor here.
There's no point in padding stats. There's no purpose in trying to even go for this. It's a 1v5. There's those 20-30 seconds left. So at that point, you just say, okay, we need to talk with our team, figure out what we need to do next round. Because an extra 30-40 seconds of being able to talk with your team and strategize can be huge. And it's just little things that you can work out, like what happened last round that it didn't work, so what do we do this round? And by having more time to go more in detail about it, it can help your team.
And backstabs all over the place.
It also gives you a little bit of time to reset, where you didn't just lose a round because there's 10 seconds left and you have to jump in, you get gunned down by 4 people. So it's better just to reset and just regroup.
To go to like the back camera with the alliances getting formed. And all
this is the trial for Rise Nation. He had to clutch or kick,
and Factor died to the fall damage. So that's a round, I guess.
It's a lot of blunders. So Rise Nation, they lost that round. I'm not sure how, but hopefully they can pick things up next time around.
What a wild ride that was.
It was like you say, screw it. England, I'm a join you.
Sucks to suck, I guess, you know?
Hey.
Alright, so Church Defense coming out again. And with that, Rise Nation is bringing the same lineup. Space Station, I think is this the same lineup? No. I'm trying to remember who they went the first defensive round that they dropped now. Because the Legion, I don't... Wait, they... Oh, okay, so they dropped to Mira. And... That is... It's hard to say whether or not that's questionable, good or bad, because you never want to show the same strategy twice in a row. You also, so if you are, so maybe they only had one mirror strategy here, and they then said, okay, now we can just go back to the basics and we're good. So that's probably what they're going for, and just saying, okay, we showed the mirror strategy once. It's probably not going to work again, so we don't have to worry about her. She can be in play, but we don't need her, so we don't have to worry about it.
It's fun when
God,
fun
I hate
things
that
happen,
smoke
no?
uniform.
Yeah. I really like Bosco's character skin, by the way.
Who's he on?
I'm trying to understand the shield. I really can't. It's so you're putting this to contest the main door, but if it's a thermite charge, they have multiple angles. Okay, my only thought process with this is maybe if this gets Hibana'd out the bottom of it, you can sit here without having your feet shot. However, other than that, I can't really see anything, because you never really see this thermited. You see the middle panel thermited, and with the middle panel thermited, then you can I mean, if it's the middle panel, you can swing from 2 directions, so we'll just have to wait and see. That's all I can say. We have to wait and see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Memes all over.
I saw it. It's waiting for us.
Okay,
right
now
there.
it can
Yes.
stop the.
There it goes.
Now it can contest the main the main wall, but the middle of it. But I don't know. I can't say anything. I've never seen it before. I need to see how it works.
Oh,
Then
you don't
hatches
see
get
that.
reinforced. The hatch 1, hatch 2, hatch 3, nothing
Right, so there it is.
special.
Rise Nation still looking for their chance to win their very first round on attack. They struggled before, team kills and, falling off the buildings. That's behind us now. You're going to have to move forward. You're going to have short-term memory. So here it is, track, and the latest pickup for Rise Nation is going to turn around stock room, moving in the lounge, and he's not going to see anybody just yet. And I believe Space Station are going to be site-heavy once again.
One thing I'll say is if a Kate is in play, don't drive directly over hatches, just because it could just be a client-side thing where you don't see the electricity. And it could just be it doesn't show it at that second, so you may think that it's not electrified, or you may just flat out not notice it. So it's better just to take it around rather than going over it, just in case it is, and that way you don't lose a drone and then have to say, okay, I lost my drone, I can't do my job, and
So
I've got to
pretty much
worry
what
about
we
that now.
saw the first round this time around.
Yeah, SSG playing very close to the chest when it comes to this, and it almost, came back to bite them last time. If the push from Blue had gone a lot better, that round would have gone very easy.
Rise Nation's round.
Yeah, like that round would have very easily gone into Rise Nation's hand if the Blue push killed like 1 or 2 more players.
So taking a look at history, Rise Nation actually hold on to their lead if they have the same type of attack this time around. Hey, this round might go to them. The only difference, Charlotte's going to be on Legion.
So Fault's not able to successfully trick that first hatch this time. I think his focus is elsewhere. Yeah, he's on the inside of Arsenal, so he's going to be more focused on like the kitchen hatch.
All right.
He actually doesn't have any of those electric claws left, so they might have already countered it at some point. The hatch is not open, though. It doesn't look like any work was even done on kitchen, so...
Okay, minute, 40 seconds left in the game. Rise Nation slowly but surely moving in. You see tracking on the steps right now. He's going to try to inch his way down, and a little bit of patience. EMP currently being prepped. Acid's going to open up this line of sight, and there was nobody behind this, so hey, the EMP was used just in case.
So Ivana Thermite goes down at the same time, and...
moves in towards the right.
Okay, so what I was looking for was whether or not somebody was holding above here, because it's not... If you don't have the hatch open, a smoke with a shotgun can very easily swing here and gun down whoever moves into here. And that's just one way that it can... Like it's a smoke with a shotgun. It's at close range. It's a fight you're not going to win a lot of times. Then with that, this wall has been opened. So all right, so smoke comes out. I don't like that. I think that Bosco could have waited a little bit longer just for maybe something to happen. And I think this is just a little bit too premature. Because most teams will not push at the moment they open a wall.
The audio cue is going to let them know exactly where he's coming from.
And second one comes out.
Taken out, of course, so Chal is also going to move into position here now. Bosco still holding the broken wall. Still a minute left as well, so Rise have gotten into this position really early on in the round. That's going to be a lot of pressure working its way on the space station. I don't know if they have the utility to hold it off. It's going to be a lot. Here now, Bosco still holding the broken wall. Still a minute left as well, so Rise.
The third gas canister comes out.
Really early on in the round. That's going to be a lot of pressure.
I don't think it's good that 3 gas canisters were just used. Because the only thing I can say is maybe this third gas canister pushed the thermite to swing out a little bit more, and that caused the Legion to be able to swing and get a kill here.
I don't know if they have the utility to hold it off. It's going to be a lot.
Or that was really just not the best from Acid. I mean, he's just standing there in the middle of he's just standing there, and he gets gunned down because of it.
Well, all credit to them. Able to take out Acid. So far, no response. That's going to change them with Factor.
All right, 4v4.
So Factor here manages to kill Rampy, and then Chala goes down.
45 seconds left to go, and here goes the attack. Bosco's going to stand right over a teammate, and with a nice shot, tiny little angle he was able to get. He's able to get the down.
I'm surprised that Factor lost that fight there, just because, I mean, he downed someone right here, and the fact that Bosco can go and peek the exact same angle and get the down on Factor is surprising, but
pretty sure
is what it is.
But that is going to be the objective player. Nobody's going to be around him to even get the pickup.
No easy way to get this res, unfortunately, so Bosco still has to stay focused on the fight, leaving his teammate on the ground. That's Chala that could get res.
You have a
back up.
shotgun.
England
Use the shotgun.
next to fall. However, you've got a third.
Okay, so that was bad from Buck. He flat out ignored Bosco here and just said, I'm just going to walk by here and go pick up my teammate. But then, thinking Nade manages to kill the flanking Capital. So good on him for that.
Also on the ground from Rise, his Factor was taken.
Vandal then gets cut down because he's at 1 HP. Bosco is then killed by tracking.
Response from that broken wall just behind the church bar. 12 seconds remain.
So 2 versus 1 coming out because Factor has been downed. And Chala is... Alright, so Fultz has done this twice now where he just walks up the hallway and just guns people down. But, so, it's a little strange that he can do that again. But, overall, this... I'm trying to figure out what this push the attackers are doing. Because it's... I want to see where everybody gets killed from. So Acid gets killed here,
that's going to be a lot of pressure working its way on the space station. I don't know if they have,
where nobody's in a position to refrag him because he decided to go for. I mean, really, that was. I mean, it wasn't aggressive. That was kind of just, oh, smoke thrown here. Okay, you can herd me over here.
the utility to hold it off.
But he just got herded and killed.
Which starts out well. All credit to them.
The one person down there. Then Factor manages to kill Rampy.
So far, no
now 4v4.
Response that's going to change the Factor.
All right.
Gets the down onto Chala.
4v4, 45 seconds left to go, and here
Grenades come out.
goes the attack. Bosco's going to stand right over a teammate, and with that
Factor
nice
just doesn't
shot.
see him. It's now 3v3.
Tiny little angle he was able to get. He's able to get the down. Pretty sure he knows it, but that is going to be the objective player. Nobody's.
Buck is holding the main hallway. Hibana is holding by the wall.
No easy way to get this res, unfortunately, so Bosco still has to stay focused on the fight, leaving his teammate on the ground. That's Chala that could get res back up. England next to fall. However, you've got a third player also on the ground from Rise.
Vandal then gets killed.
His Factor was taken out, thinking able to find Vandal, but Tracken finds a response from that broken wall just behind the church bar.
Alright, so basically, nobody is playing off of anyone from Rise Nation. When Acid got gunned down, there wasn't another person going for the refrag. Factor managed to get a kill and a down, and when Smoke ran out to go down him, Hibana, although she was in a position to go for a refrag, didn't. The grenades weren't used too effectively because those... If Buck had gone to kitchen, he could have tossed those grenades to land by the bomb inside of church, and that could have killed someone. And Tracken is just gets gunned. But I just want to say that nobody's really playing off of one another. And this isn't really anything amazing from Space Station. It's them just playing better than Rise is.
Here in the basement.
They're just taking their time and picking them apart one by one. Once that down happened, I believe it was Bosco. It was Bosco or Shala, I forgot. When they got the down on the... It's really upsetting, though, like I said.
Okay, so Cash came out again. Now, Space Station has elected to drop the Legion for a... They dropped Legion and Smoke for Castle and Mira. So, I think they kind of read into... I think that this Mira is trying to read into the push coming out from Rise, where with this Mira window, they're saying, okay, we know you guys pushed in last time, so now we're going to have the information to contest this. You walk anywhere into A, we will know it. And I kind of wish that they played a bit below, because Rise isn't going for any vertical play, really, where they're entering from below. And so if they had, I think that if the defenders were running another night, I think if they play for like late nitro cells for the A bomb or B bomb, either one, it could get them some easy kills. But is what it is. And roughly the same setup coming out is really the only real change between every site, between every defense, is whether or not this wall is reinforced, or the wall outside over there that leads into construction is reinforced. Just about everything else is the same.
The one thing that Space Station Gaming, they're just dominant over, yo, Thinkinade.
So I don't like this. I don't like the castle that's being set up right now. So Space Station knows the attack that Rise is roughly going for. They know, well, they don't know, but they can probably assume that that Rise isn't going to be trying to walk in through here. So actually, no, this is going to be torn down, so it's not actually that big of a deal. That the castle, I think I'd prefer it somewhere else, but here it's not the end of the world. And you can tear it down if you need to run underneath for nitro cells. However, this shield, I feel like if you put that inside of the inside of cache, that could have been a lot more effective when it comes to holding the room, just because that's how they were pushing.
Gaming, they're just dominant over. Yo, Thinkinade, the Fro. As Bandit, he is undefeated. He is the undisputed, the Michael Jordan of Bandit tricking, like hands down.
He's got the timing down.
The timing, he's undefeated. It's the champ. And we're gonna see those takes, be attempted once more.
I
wonder what he's shooting.
I have no idea what Rampy is doing there.
He's just cleaning up the debris, I think.
Thought he was making a beat.
Yeah, he might have been.
Say Blue, just freestyle, you play by play now. All right, yo, chill.
Trying to figure out about this mirror window because I'm not sure if it's possible to get shot through the window for it. I don't know if that angle exists, so I can't really say anything about it.
Down 0-4, let's see if they can make this comeback.
One thing I can say though is I don't like it because you can get an angle on this wall, I'm pretty sure, while repelling. And so, I mean, waste 2 magazines shooting at the bottom of there, you know someone's ever peeking it.
Gunfire coming through, and I like this. Same plan as before. Capital shooting a boat, getting rid of Thinkinade, and also one of his bandit batteries.
There we go. So that's how this push was trying to go. And they did it right this time. And now Thinkinade is down to half HP.
Care of earlier on in the round. Rise Nation learning from their mistakes.
So one thing, Acid is running stun grenades when he could be running a Claymore. Remember how Capital got gunned last round because there was only one Claymore set up? And another one could have possibly saved his life? Well, wouldn't it have been effective if, say, Acid adapts to that, switches to a Claymore, and then gets it set down so that if you go for the run out here, you're going to hit either Claymore, you can either shoot Claymore 1, at which point Claymore number 2 kills you, or you shoot Claymore number 2, at which point Claymore number 1 kills you. Right, an impact nade could destroy anything. It could destroy both of them. However, an impact nade tells you, hey, I'm about to do a run out. So you can kind of debate which one you want to actually. I mean, you can debate its usefulness, but if you get gunned down because one Claymore isn't working, then having one Claymore is just about useless because there's only one of them. It's shown that it hasn't worked, so you need to adapt to that.
Have Acid, repel up just a tad bit, see if he can get a pick. A little bit of pre-fire coming from England, nothing's gonna come yet. But it looks good for Rice so far.
We're getting an angle on the mirror window there.
A lot of rounds have looked good for Rise. It's coming down to that execute where things often go south. But at least they were able to get the wall open once again. This is where they were able to get really good access to the site last time, but it was on that retake, because that was what SSG were thriving in the early round here, was the retake capability. It's really brought them back in quite a few rounds here.
I agree, and there also has been a lot of presence or just attack coming from Garage, by the way, whenever this site is picked. So, I mean, that's one thing to point out that Rise Nation isn't doing, or Space Station's doing a good job at holding it off. But coming from Cash and also Balcony has been the play so far, and currently is working. A few charges coming from Kraken. He's going to be able to open up. Yeah.
Well, Kraken's lucky that there's not a Cade being run this time, because if there was, then that would have been a Hibana pellet destroyed again.
Another line of sight in the cache.
And
you're gonna have what, 3 people in construction at the moment?
Yeah, I mean a lot of focus on that.
They're stacking.
They need that other angle. So the trip or the
And the mirror window actually got opened up. Okay, I think an angle actually exists from outside to this mirror window, and I did not know that. So that is actually really good from Rise Nation for figuring that out.
The trick kind of works. It does still open the wall part, so I don't think she can crawl through it, though. So, and you wouldn't really want to crawl through that kind of a hole. So,
all right, now getting into
that
the
mirror
nitty-gritty,
window
have
can
some
be
more posts
countered.
coming through. That means that Rise Nation, they're primed. They're ready to run in and make a play. Yeah, Foltz buddied up with somebody on Cat Stairs. It's going to be Rampy. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. They're waiting for this push to happen.
the mirror window is open, so they're probably going to try to use that for an angle.
There's going to be 4 players in cash. Oh, with the grenade in his hand.
So that was a good try from Rampy. However, it was a bad actual execution because he stood up way too long. If you're gonna do that, you need to just get up, throw it already it's already in your hand, throw the impact nade, and then just get right back down. Now, if you miss it, you miss it. If you can get out alive, then great. If not, then at least you have a chance of getting rid of the thermite charge. But it is what it is.
Victim the factor. That's gonna be one good pick for Rise Nation. This could be their round.
Too committed to the trick, he forgot about the kill, so he goes down. That's going to bring us into a 5v4 here. Jaeger still trying to rotate behind these guys, too.
So I don't like this Capital's positioning. Vandal just comes in and slaps Thinking Nade and Foltz. Where were Thinking Nade and Foltz?
Good pick for Rise Nation. This
So
could be their
Thinking Nade
round.
and Foltz playing on the stairs.
The trick, he forgot about the kill. So he goes down. That's going to bring us into a 5v4 here. Jaeger still trying to
I have no
rotate
idea.
behind these guys, too. He could find a lot of impact.
The stairs. Vandal just ran in there and gunned them down. That is... okay. I mean, it is what it is. Now, I really wish that somebody from Space Station went below with a nitro cell. But is what it is. Bomb goes down. Mirror window is now going to hurt the defenders. Flank watch. Well, Bosco gets one, but is refragged, and then England just kills Chala. So, same attack coming out from Rise Nation, but this time they used their utility the way they needed to. They didn't give away early picks. And in all honesty, I want to say this round, a lot of it came down to the fact that the mirror window on the stairs was destroyed so easily.
Work out, Rise finally make pace with this attacking side. They're able to pick up their first round on the 5th.
There you have it. They played that perfectly, man. Learning from your mistakes, taking your time, and just doing the right.
So, that could still
the last defensive round coming out from Space Station.
Last attacking round
they are bringing.
Last chance
they
for
dropped
Space
the.
Station to really try to cut.
So one thing is that Maestro has been doing nothing. So I would have liked to have them change the operator, and I didn't talk about that. But I mean, it's you know, I say that, but that could just be their lineup, and just the Maestro is meant to stop one push while the others are meant to stop another push. But I mean, it was ineffective, so I think they should go. I think that Space Station should go back to the strategies and figure out, okay, why wasn't it effective? Can we make it effective for both pushes? How can we adapt to that? Is it better to bring someone else? And just look at it. But with that, they dropped him and dropped Cade.
Cut ahead early here with a potential 5-1 lead. If they can win this one out again.
All right, like I said before, Maverick being taken out. I mean, this is pretty much all of the thinking when it comes to this balcony hard breach. He's been extremely successful. It's taken a lot of utility. Price Station go ahead and open that up. But Cast Barricades coming through. He's going to try to block off or just slow down the point of attack when it comes to these windows. I believe Space Station won. Yeah, they won this side. That was when the blunders happened. So we really didn't get to see what Rise Nation wanted to throw at SSG this time around, or vice versa, see if they had a perfect counter. So this is pretty much going to be the first time we see this site really be played.
Let's see once again. If Rise are going to be able to work their way in through the balcony. This was a problem previously.
Alright, so same attack coming out from Rise, but let's see whether or not they manage to capital their thermite.
Coming through. Yeah,
Okay, no advantage is coming out.
We also got a peek of Bandit. It's gonna be all about execution at this point now.
Okay, now it's time to see if Capital can shoot his bolt correctly this time.
All right, clearing the way for England. Okay. Yeah, they're currently looking for the claw. See if there's anything
All right,
right now. Yep,
I do not. I just hate this. I hate this so much because they're looking for a pixel peak that is just hard to hit, and they could change this all if they just brought Zofia and threw a concussion mine in through there to detonate and interrupt the bandit tricking. I mean, Empire did it. Navi does it. Well, the old Navi used to do it, so there's plenty of videos on how to do it, but it's really seemed I want to say that Rise Nation relies on the Maverick here, and having to rely on this. Well, I don't even know because this Capital is just weird. This strategy isn't something that you just think up. This is something you have to practice, and so I don't know. This just seems so strange. It seems like they could just bring Zofia instead of Buck, and there you go. Problem solved.
But they're playing it smart. They're taking their time. They're making the right play. There it is. Thinking He's gonna be out the way.
Okay, so they managed to hit the Capital bolt.
We were both holding our breath for that moment.
Not again. Please, not again. Now we just need to make sure we don't get someone walking off a building accidentally, and then we're
Oscar's at half HP, and I don't know how.
All right, but the mirror play is still going to be strong from Thinking He's going to be a valuable asset when it comes to this entire hold. You've seen one player on mirror hold this down before when it came to I believe it was my first cast, and it was Sonics. They held this down extremely well. Space Station can still have that type of gameplay here. They can waste a lot more time for Rise Nation, now coming down to 1 minute and 20 seconds.
20 seconds again. They've stalled out and trying to push their way. That should be a good nade, though. Not going to be enough, though. A little bit too far away from Thinking Nade, so he survives the encounter, but I want to get burned into a corner. Oh, he's got such a tiny window. Is the nade going to be close enough? I think the shower saved his life.
It went right over his afro. Barely missed him.
How is he still alive right now? He's going to be able to tripwire the wall.
Here it gets killed.
They won't be able to breach their way past this. They can try to go through the soft wall. It looks like they're going to try to do it.
So right there, that was I'd say that was pretty good for clearing out shower. The Vandal looks like he's practiced the nades to stop the mirror window, and the Capital was there as well using the utility. However, I would have preferred it if Vandal threw the grenade and then Capital could have made the call out. Okay, he didn't rotate the showers, so with that, the Buck then knows that Thinking Nade has to play this positioning but isn't playing the mirror window. Just walks in with his shotgun, just shotguns the wall, and just keeps on shooting because he knows Thinking Nade has to be here.
Exactly that, but obviously
Thinking Nade manages to win it, which
wall gets breached, but Vandal.
That's really not something that Thinking Nade should have won.
C4 going to work its way out. No dice, not going to connect, and he'll be flashed out, forced into a corner.
So this is where all the attacks are going to happen now. Still playing the chess game against Thinking Nade. Thinking Nade was able to pick up one kill, and working on the second. The flashbang comes in. Thinking Nade has to turn his head, and two players, they're going to run by it hallway. So this can be big. Tracken's able to pick up a kill.
Tracken comes from behind. Acid manages to kill Thinking Nade in bathroom.
Get a second. It's going to be a 4v2 for Rise Nation. They're going to pick up their second win so far this half. Another player goes down, which is going to be even better for Rise. It's going to be all up to Rampy. Seen him do it before, found himself in a 1v1.
Rampy gets a kill.
The TCSG, too strong, and he gets this.
Okay, this was bad from Tracken.
Even better for Rise.
And it could just be he's inexperienced. I don't recognize him as a pro player. He may just be someone that was picked up for this tournament because you have to live in the United States to actually play here. So Canada or Mexico, if you live there, like Gio does, he lives in Mexico, that you can't actually attend this tournament until you get like a visa, and I think it was a work visa or something. But anyway, with that, right here, Rampy comes up, guns down Buck, and then Hibana, you saw her right there. Hold up. sprinting. Okay, so she's sprinting right here as she came from behind, as she came from the stairs. If she had come with her gun up instead of trying to chase down Rampy, if she had come with her gun up, she would have won this fight.
SSG too strong and he gets
But loses it.
Track and gets absolutely bodied.
I have
Moving
no.
around towards the other
You know,
side
my
of
only
that.
thoughts about that were.
Yet to start killing anybody.
Oh my god, Rampy. Okay. My thoughts about that were maybe maybe that Cade, maybe the Electro Claw is gonna force the force England off of the mirror window, and it's gonna make it a little bit harder for him to play there. And that'd be my only thought process, because if you can't touch it, it's electrified. Or it could just be, an Electro Claw, may as well just throw it down. See what happens.
But to get it, this is gonna be it. Can he get the clutch? No! Acid ends the dream of Rampy getting the clutch. And Rise Nation picks up yet their second win in a row. Things are starting to look up now.
I was so close.
The dream of Rampy. Towards the other side of bedroom. He's looking to pick up yet a star kill. He's able to get it. This is gonna be it. Can he get the clutch?
Oh, Acid is really lucky. He took a bullet there.
No! Acid
a little bit lower HP, or yeah, really just a little bit lower HP. That would have killed. That would have killed Acid. So good from Rampy there. And really, this just comes down to a little bit of just getting caught out of positioning from the Buck and the Hibana. And due to those two, yeah, really that's it. Then the Capitao, I would have liked if he fell back 2 showers and was playing inside of the showers rather than playing the mirror window, because you could get that information from the mirror window still, but you would also be in cover from the from Master. And so with that, you could just be playing with your teammates, waiting for sound cues, maybe using a drone you have set up, and then peek at the same time. However, is what it is.
Their second win in a row. Things are starting to look up now.
I was so close.
Right. Your pointy finger.
Anyway, side switch. Basement comes out for Rise Nation. They have. Alright, so Legion, information op. Maestro, good gun, as well as can give information. Cade, because I mean you can trick as well as you have a good gun, and then you can impact trick. Then Smoke, it's a Smoke. And now this Rook. I do not like this Rook. So one I can talk. What I'm gonna. Okay, so why Jaeger is just not being brought instead, I don't understand. Because Jaeger can do a lot more for your team, I think, than a Rook can. So Rook, his gadget is it basically lets you get down from an explosive instead of die, and maybe take an extra bullet. However, in this high level of play, most of these. Here, hold on a second. I gotta mute myself. Alright. So, in this high level of play, most of these players have good headshot ratios, somewhere around the 40 to 50%, and it can change. It changes based on the games. I mean, I think that Slash Hug managed to have like an 80% headshot ratio one game or something, but it can be up there. So if your utility half of the time, like let's just round it to 50%, saying 50% of the headshot of the kills here are headshots, which they're not, but it's simple that, well, then your gadget is half useless, because it's already half useless because it's a headshot instead of a body shot. Then it lets you maybe take 1 extra bullet. However, most of the time you're not dying because you took one bullet more, you're dying because you took another 5. So you already, like, most of these are people die because they're out of positioning or they lose a gunfight or something. And so if you have Rook armor, it's not just going to be I can now go peek everything. You're still going to die, and it's ineffective. I mean, you have Rampy on grenades, yes. However, if you get downed, then he's just gonna throw another one because points might be off here, but some pro teams, what they'll do is they'll say, "Yo, someone watch my points." He'll throw the grenade. Did they go up? No. Okay, no one got downed. Did they go up? No. Okay, no one got downed. Did they go up? Yes. All right. I have my second one already cooked. I throw that one as well. Bam, there's a kill. So the points aren't going to change anything, and it's possible to get around that. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. And so I really do not like this rook pick. I mean, it's one of those you pick him to frag. However, Rise Nation is having issues just with team coordination, not really fragging. So it seems to me like they need more utility-based operators, more ways to play as a team to help their team, rather than an operator that really can only frag. So we'll just have to see. Maybe Factor gets a 4K and he can just run a Rook every single round. But then I also would prefer if they had just brought a Doc instead, because you can't get away from you see all the players, they get damaged at some point. Maybe it's a bullet, maybe it's a grenade, maybe it's a Capital bolt, maybe it's something. It doesn't really matter. So being able to go from 70 to 100 HP is an extra bullet or two, and then go from 50 to 90 or whatever you get healed for, I can't remember. But I think that Doc is better than Rook. I think that Rook is one of the worst operators you can pick. He just doesn't bring anything to the table. Now maybe if there's a fuse and 3 grenade operators, sure, but I mean that never happens. So
desk over and lost my mind.
You can do that. I think his desk is pretty heavy.
I mean, I worked out, so I'm kind of sore, but I think.
Then on Space Station side, roughly the same setup, but instead of a Capital, they're bringing Ash, which I also disagree with. I mean, it's an Ash. She brings no utility. If they brought a Zofia, that makes sense because you can stop a cash take. However, there's no if Rise Nation right now had gone cash instead of basement, they could have had a bandit trick, just bandit trick everything, and they would have won. Because there's no way for Space Station to actively contest that bandit trick, except maybe by chunking a grenade. But put down Jaegers and you're good.
So, but still though, we've been talking a lot about Space Station gaming, and rightfully so.
And the other thing is this wall right here isn't reinforced, which I find curious. We'll have to see.
They were attacking those sites perfectly the last 2 rounds. Unfortunately, it came a little bit too late, but still.
There we go. Oh yeah.
Better than nothing.
Which again, credit to Rise for all the
Maestro Cam here. It'll let you see under this table, and it's a pain to shoot things underneath tables and stuff. So I should like this Maestro Cam.
The BS they had to deal with
Here's where the second one will go.
Last round, still managed to make it work. So
yeah, you're right.
Especially like just Thinking Nade, right? Because Thinking Nade did a really fantastic job of delaying for a good almost minute, I would say, after they got the initial wall open on balcony.
I agree.
But past that, even really without utility usage, was just able to take good positioning, really smart heads up play and avoiding things like the asphyxiation bolt and the nades that were getting chucked at him. Stayed alive for so long and even went 1 for 1 at the end of the day.
So the next thing is that Bosco is on the G36C. And the G36 is not bad. Really almost most of the guns in the game are good. And yes, it's worse than the R4C, but if you want to run it, then run it. Back during, I think it was year 1, when Continuum was a thing, Necrox, who's now on EG, whenever he ran, this was before they had the recoil changes, he would run the G36C because he preferred the recoil pattern, and that was it. That was the whole thought process. It was, well, I can hit my shots better with the G36C, so it doesn't matter what the damage is of the R4C.
Rise able to push past
anyway,
that.
Roam Clear comes out.
Really clean entries once they took care of Thinking Nade. And then other than that, make their way onto the site, minus the clutch attempt with relative ease.
The difference maker there was, it wasn't just fighting Thinking Nade, it was that flashbang. Thinking Nade was not trying to lose a fight at all, holding down Bathroom behind that mirror window. once that flashbang came, it forced Thinking Age to pretty much run into a corner and, you know, close his eyes. Once that happened, 2 players ran down the hallway, and that's for Track, and I believe Vandal picked up a kill, and next thing you know, that was all she wrote for Space Station.
Yeah, I really just don't understand this Ash pick.
Slowly looking over blue.
If you
not able to see a player yet, and
I mean,
Rampy's gonna
bring Zofia. She's basically a more utility-based Ash, and with her concussion grenades, you can stop any bandit tricking. So why that's not what's being brought, I don't understand, but it is what it is.
Out just a tad bit, but Bosco, he's trying to get right into the thick of action with Ash.
Bosco's still working his way forward here now. He's gonna get a good amount of intel. Actually, knows the castle is hiding on, or not the castle, excuse me. Knows he's got 1 player hiding on the inside of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Besides this, should have intel on at least 1 or 2 more players as well.
The shield play is going to make it extremely hard. If you do wind up going into blue, I mean, you're pretty much walking into a death trap. You're going to be stuck there. The shield play is going to allow, you know, a player on Rise Nation to just rise up and just pre-fire until they're able to get a kill. It's going to require, you know, a lot of skill and just great aim. But slowly but surely, a few skeleton keys going down in kitchen, trying to see if they can peek and find a pick. So far, nothing yet.
All right. So this right here from Bosco is okay. So I'm hoping that he knew that this was clear, because if he didn't, I mean, someone could just be waiting there and he would have just ignored that and possibly gone gunned down. But I like the way that he's clearing these angles. So first he's checking here, saying, is it clear, yes or no? Yes. Okay, I don't have to worry about this. I can now expose myself and clear the next little angle.
Nothing yet.
Clears it, sends a Ash charge. So
there it goes. The shield has been taken care of. Great rotation coming from the Ash player.
I was aiming for the Maestro cam.
Bosco.
50 seconds remaining here. They're trying to scout for intel through the hole here. Not finding the easiest route to do that with.
A lot of time being burned, by the way. But now this is really going to start moving in. Oh my god.
Oh, Rampy. No,
Dude, see how
Rampy.
low he got on the first one?
Yes.
It's amazing he was still alive after that.
Yeah, the frag hit him in his forehead. He still had like a sliver of health left. But it's going to be all up to Space Station. This is where the attack is going to be. You have toxic gas coming in currently over in Memorial Room. Shala.
Oh. Okay, so Foltz on the Hibana kills Vandal. The smoke.
Currently prone head. He
Okay.
still had like a sliver of health left. But it's going to be all up to Space Station. This is where the attack is going to be. You have toxic gas coming in currently over in Memorial Room. Shala, currently prone, and he still had like a sliver of health left. But it's going to be all up to Space Station. This is where the attack is going to be. You have
The
toxic
smoke
gas
comes out.
coming in currently over in Memorial Room. Shala.
Oh, I think Tranks was downed. No, Tracken. Oh my god, this guy hates me. Wait, so Tracken was downed by the... He was downed by gunfire and then got killed by the smoke. I think Foltz managed to down him, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So it wasn't like a... This wasn't as bad as the Capital. Let's leave it at that.
Currently prone. Vandal kills his teammate Tracken. Foltz picks up 1 as well. Space Station. All 5 players alive.
13 seconds left, though. That's still a big problem for them. They're going to work their way in. Thankfully, Church is just open for the taking. So they're going to be able to walk in, get a relatively easy plant here as long as no one does anything crazy, which Factor borderline. Still a big problem for them. They're going to work their way in.
So
Thankfully, Church is
5v2,
just
Rampy got picked up.
open for the taking. So they're going to be able to walk in, get a
Shots missed, but it's... What was that? I don't even know who did the shot right there. Doesn't really matter, though. But then Bosco walks down blue, gets a kill.
plant here as long as no one does anything
Factor goes for the refrag, misses, either thinks he hits the head and turns away, or thinks, okay, he just left so I can turn away.
crazy, which
Realizes,
Factor
oh, I didn't get the kill. And Bosco
relying
wins the
on
fight.
crazy right there, but Bosco takes care of it, and Space Station will pick up round number 7.
Factor, essentially, he had a 2K.
Now, the funny thing I want to point out here is there were 10 seconds left, and Rise Nation could have won this round with an Echo. The Echo they banned. And I see this from a couple of teams where it seems to me like they can stall out long enough on the defense that an Echo could become viable, but they ban Echo. And I understand maybe they don't want to go up against an Echo, but I find it amusing that there are times where it gets down to these 10 seconds and a team could use an Echo to win this.
At a 2K, he just didn't finish. The first player that was prone, he pretty much, did a little dip and dive and put in a few shots, barely missed his head, got some health down, wasn't able to pick up the kill. He ran into blue for cover. Without that rotate, just without that simple call out, the small things, it was going to be extremely hard.
So basement defense command again. Let's see. Rise drops the Rook, picks up a Legion. Okay. I mean, Legion is better than Rook in my opinion. So, is what it is. Space Station, still bringing Bosco on the Ashe. So I am confused as to how, unless they flat out ignore the cache wall, which I would find surprising, I don't like this Ashe pick.
Hard to get that take for blue, which allows Space Station to pretty much swarm the site.
Maybe Bosco's just trying to show off the Ashe uniform.
I love the overall teamwork that Space Station Gaming currently have. You saw their struggles, it was extremely sad to watch, but Foltz is starting to fit in extremely well. Bosco is continuing to be one of the greatest out there, and they're playing like a team. This is a Space Station Gaming that we've been waiting to see for a while now.
Let's see if SSG can carry this through all the way to the finish line. Rise Nation nearly pits them off in the first round. At least when it comes to time, they do a great job of delaying, just like SSG were doing on their own defensive half. But still need to do a little bit of work. Trade potential, not where it needs to be right now. Unfortunately, falling short when the execute did happen. Open the
Let me put it back in the exact same spot I was at the first time. Rampy kills England. So, okay. Legion tried to play aggressively, didn't work out. Yeah, that's the story of how Legion died.
England, no revenge this round. He's going to sit in the graveyard, so that's going to be Legion out of play. Really good roamer that's going to have a lot of the intel and just damage. A lot of utility to slow down the attack. You take him out the game early. Great kill from Rampy off the bat.
Yep, that's only like probably 2 or 3 goo mines down at this point. That's if he was throwing them
now
down.
Space Station is up 5 versus 4 and 2 goo mines.
Especially with England going down this early, he's a really good player. Obviously he's here, but I mean he's just really important for whatever roster he's on. We've seen him, but Bosco throwing out a flashbang, almost got his head taken off. Luckily he has a drone down there to see who's going to be in blue, and that head peeking out to the left. Not sure if he's going to see it, but
I'm not really going to talk about it, but really England, the Legion there, he died just from a bit of over-aggression. Maybe he thought I can catch someone off guard, but I don't think that was a smart move on him, and I think that he really just hurt his team by doing that. I think the risk was just not there for him.
Breach charges going off here and there, and folks, his job is done.
Same general strategy here from SSG as well, not really changing up the pace, so this should be a chance for Rise to put a stop to it, but losing that first player is in the greatest start.
Tracking kills Rampy.
Able to put one back against them as he
Goodbye,
takes out
Buck.
Rampy this time when he attempts to push his way down those.
Where was that?
This should be a chance for Rise to put a stop to it, but losing that first player is in the greatest start. However, Tracking.
Give me Tracken's point of view, please. Come on. Give me everything but this point of view.
Killed through the hatch. Here's the attempt to refrag it though.
Oh, he's trying it.
Okay, I think Tracken was just playing aggressively somewhere around this area and shot up.
Bosco wants it. Rampy showing some love in the chat, saying nice shot, and great sportsmanship is Space Station Gaming. They're looking to win their 6th round right now. But still, Bosco, he wants this, and Bosco gets it.
Alright, so aggressive peek from Tracken, loses the fight because of it. No, I don't think these guys are actually on land, so I mean, really, that was just not a good peek.
Tracken tries him, and he fell. Bosco getting a headshot, still holding down that angle. No one's gonna try it. He's gonna go ahead and rotate up, and he's gonna try to get a shot from up top now. As now there's less than a minute for this attack for Space Station Gaming.
Their hatch breach attempt, I'm pretty sure, just got tricked. By the way, they've got blue hatch open at least to play with, and that's probably going to become their main angle to push. I'm not sure what else they were able to pump open in the meantime, but they really do not have the luxury of time to attempt to do that with anything else.
Oh yeah, he was also being brought from Rise Nation, but They dropped for that. I don't remember.
To get a hatch open. They'll get eyes on the Jaeger.
Oh well.
Bosco really dancing with death there. Hypothesizing if he can go down the hatch. Chala, though.
Vandal gets killed, giving Chala the easiest kill of his career. I mean, that was just, you have to know what angles exist. And Vandal ignored the angle that existed and sat somewhere he said, okay, now I'm safe here. And it was not safe.
Possibility to easily kill Vandal. And also, Factor just going to get caught. Got pinched without even realizing it. So he's going to go down. And there you go.
And people just holding angles. I mean, really, this is just... It looks to me like Rise Nation is just not comfortable on this map, where they have an idea of what they want to do, but they're not sure, they don't have it fleshed out enough that they know how to react in different situations. Where they, I mean, really, that's just kind of what I'm seeing, where they're not sure exactly what to do. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Even though SSG, they're up by a lot right now. It's just the unfortunate kills that are happening. You know, the early pick on England, Bosco's patience that I didn't expect him to hold that angle for that long to get that headshot. It's just an unfortunate timing for them on defense. We're gonna go, but
all right. So
when it comes to
cash defense coming out now from the defenders. If you lose the same site twice in a row, you shouldn't go there a third time unless you have a really good reason. There normally isn't a good reason. So with that, Rise Nation, they have switched up their operators. They're bringing the Maestro, Cade. Actually, no, they only dropped the Legion. So, okay, yeah, not really much change there. Then Space Station dropped the Buck and has brought a Capital, which does make sense considering they can probably assume that that Rise is going to go cash. I mean, most people, you are not going to hold the same site 3 times in a row. So with that, let's see what Rise does this time to stop Space Station as they are down 6-2.
Bring down defense, and this is it, man. If the roamers go down, you're gonna have to pin it on their shoulders. They're gonna have to be extremely valuable. But hey, they had a great time attacking this site whenever they were on attack, obviously. But you know, with the tricks of the trade that they showed in the last 2 rounds that they won against SSG, you know, be mindful that they're gonna watch for those tricks as well. You know, Capital being chosen with Rampy, they know that, you know, that trick might be used against them. I hope that they watch that, and hopefully the bandit tricking coming from Tracken is going to be on par with Thinkinades.
Well, let's get into it here and see if SSG can complete the loop. Pick up one final round that's needed here. Claim victory over Rise to knock them out. Push them into our final matchup. Go up against attempt number. To get into this once again. See how Space Station approached the early round. Just like before, a little bit of presence heading over to blue relatively early on here to watch out for that. But that's more so just to counter out any pushing presence.
All right, this is it. Rise Nation is all or nothing right now, baby. Let's see if they have it in them. Immediately, the G36C, they're going to be aimed in. And take a look at the stats. Bosco on top.
Okay, no, so they're not on land, they're online. And the reason I was asking about that was on basically land just means you have very little peekers advantage. It still exists, but you're playing at like 1 or 2 ping. So you really are strong when it comes to holding angles, but not when it comes to peeking. So that's really just why it is. It used to be like back during year 1, year 2 of Siege. This was really shown where if you had 300 ping, someone could peek you and you wouldn't even see them and you'd be dead. So it just has to do with how long it takes for your computer to send a message to the server and then have it relayed to everybody else in the lobby. And so basically the way it works is if you have high ping, you want to be peeking. If you have low ping, you want to be peeked. And it really just comes down to how you like it. Or really around 40-ish ping, I don't like to be holding angles as much. However, if I can play around 20 ping, then I love it.
Top and Thinkinade going off as well, 9-3. Let's see if they have an answer.
It's working their way in. Again, first bolt's going to work their way over onto some of the Hardwalls there trying to get open early on, and
Ball
they're going
gets
to
open.
accomplish that. At least one wall getting popped open there, and it is going to be just outside of the site. Big obstacles already been left over. We're only a minute into the round.
Drone's ready.
So good progress being made here by SSG.
Now I want to see if Chala opens up the garage.
He's gone through his clean and successful. Bosco utilizing one of those stun grenades. I guess to pretty much, you know, clear out the site as he was able to jump down. But on repel, he's going to inch his way up, see if he can go ahead and get a headshot or two, maybe a pick.
Yeah, so Space Station likes to open up the garage, which is a different thing than what Rise was doing.
Everybody, see the ping coming through. With a little bit more drone work, they're not going to be too aggressive just yet. You don't want to blow it all early. Patience is everything at the moment. And there it is. Acid's going to go ahead and
Alright, so Rampy kills Acid with the Firebolt, but Acid kills... Wait, Acid kills Thinking Nade. How did... Thinking Nade is the Thatch... Okay, I don't know. Probably Thinking Nade was holding the angle. Rampy then comes in with his Firebolt. But Firebolts are used a good amount of the time to get rid of people on the railing, because with being able to spread the Firebolt, people on the railing are normally laying down, and so it takes them longer to get up from the Firebolt, so they have to then choose, do they take a fight or do they run away? And most of the time if they run away, they're going to get gunned down by whoever's holding the angle.
get the headstrong Thinking Nade, but Rampy's bolt is going to take care of Acid, so that's going to be the refrag.
Another attempts to try and jump out and get into the fight too much just yet. Essentially just a one-for-one exchange. Now that they've got Garage, they get a drone through and check out what's going on inside of CCTV and the actual cash room in order to justify the rest of their push here. Minute and 8 seconds left. Chala still hunting, hoping someone's going to try to peek him from the inside.
But look at the patience that they currently have. Space Station, they're in no rush to take this site right now. All of the drone work coming in, they're slowly moving into the site without having any shots coming their way. But it's going to be Chala. He's going to be the aggressor right now. He's going to be going to top garage. He might be able to get a pick if he plays his cards right. Little remote breaching charge, but aimed in. Cash stairs, this player ready and waiting. Chala might be able to make a huge play if he peeks up, but 30 seconds left to go. This is going to be it. All up to Rise Nation.
Micro smokes in. There's the toxic vape to stop it. He's going to work his way over towards the window, though, so he can quickly hop out and try to escape this once.
So this is something from Chala I was not expecting.
Micro smokes in.
So he gets smoked, and then says, "Okay, I will plant here now," because he's using the smoke cover here.
There's the toxic
So that
vape to
is.
stop. He's going to work his way over towards the window, though, so he can quickly hop out and try to escape this once the plant actually goes down. Factor has been able to pick off one of them. No one else, though, and I don't think they've been able to stop the plant. Rampy as well catches the run out. Fuse goes.
So yeah, that was actually really good from Chala for recognizing what is going on around him and for getting the bomb down. Because most of the time you're not going to be able to get a bomb down in that situation. You wouldn't. I mean, most of the time you would just back out if you were getting smoked there, but he managed to actually find a way to make it work. With that, going back about 10 seconds, plant's about to go down. It is a 4 versus 3 because Fultz just got gunned by Factor.
So we can quickly hop out and try to escape this once the plant actually goes down. Factor has been able to pick off one of them. No one else, though, and I don't think they've been able to stop the plant. Rampy as well catches the run out. Fuse goes down.
Frag goes down. Rampy gets a kill. 3 versus 3. However, everybody on Rise is lit.
Very difficult situation that Rise can come back from, especially considering how low some of their
Smoke
players
just hits
are.
some nice
That's
shots.
the start of it, though. Vandal finding Rampy. Bosco immediately trading once again on the track. It leaves Rise. There's 2 players left standing. Not really any positions they can use to retake this with either. So this is looking very, very bleak indeed for the guys on Rise. They have to make a push back in over half of their time now used up, looking for any positions they can try to strangle together here. Again, even hard pings going against them. That's going to lead into an easy pick for Chala when England tries to push his way back in from Garage. The last push unsuccessful as well. Bosco finishes it off in Space Station.
So that was just a good post plant from Space Station, and that's all that was. It was just a good job from Space Station there, from Chala for recognizing where he can and cannot plant, and then for Space Station for adapting to it. Where Space Station then just ran. Chala, I saw he got on the roof to watch the diffuser, then everybody else is setting up so that they know what they want to do. They know where they want to set up in these positions. So that is I just want to say this is good because they were all in strong positions, and that was it. But really, this match looked more like Rise just isn't comfortable either with the roster or with the map, because they just really didn't look comfortable, where they were messing up in little things that, I mean, I wouldn't expect most people to mess up with, even at any level. So maybe there's just stuff going on internally, which wouldn't be surprising considering they got relegated. Maybe they just don't like Clubhouse. However, they had to play it for some reason. However, I doubt that. But I really don't know. To me, it just looked like they were not comfortable. While Space Station looked more like they just came in with a plan and it worked out. And they didn't really ever have to adapt the plan too much. And it kind of just worked for them. But anyway, hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, with that, I'll end it.